Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at, we're going to look at YFII today, but I'm just going to briefly have an overview of Bitcoin, just so we get an idea of what's going on with it. So, I mean, essentially being rejected from the centre of the Bollinger Band in the last 3 days after that big push from the B word event, or maybe just a double bottom kind of vibe going on. I'm not entirely sure, but it was a decent move, to yet we've not got the clearance for continuation. We would get it if we were to break above the centre of this Bollinger Band, which is more or less where this main area of what was previously support is now appearing to be resistance, 33,000 basically, give or take where the green 50 exponential moving average is on the weekly. So, I mean, if we break above that Bollinger Band, I would expect to push up to the green exponential, the green 50 exponential moving average on the daily, which was also the top of the Bollinger Band, being around $35,000. It could, if it could, then continue even further to the 200 exponential, which is all the way up at 38,500. So that's basically an overview of Bitcoin. It's not looking particularly weak at this level. It's being sandwiched between the resistance and the support of this 10 exponential moving average. We've also broken out and appear to have had a support from the descending wedge formation, which, in my opinion, descending wedges, they're okay for what they are. They statistically, when they break out to the up. So this does suggest that there should be some more upside rather than a breakdown again, back down to those lower levels. This is just short-term stuff. We could have a breakout from this formation and come up to this level up here around about 38,600, and then break down again from there, basically stacking shorts from a higher area. Obviously, still in a downtrend. Still got the death crosses. We've got all these moving averages more or less facing down, and again, we're being rejected from the centre of that Bollinger Band on the daily. And just a brief look at the weekly, until we reclaim this green 50 exponential moving average here, which is about 33,700 actually. It's difficult to get bullish for, I suppose, for larger, more bolder, sustained uptrend style moves. But I'm reasonably confident that that'll happen at some point this year, maybe in the next month or two, to be honest with you, that we will start another uptrend. It'll be slow and steady, possibly, gaining slow and steady momentum as we reclaim all these moving averages. Anyway, I've bored you to death with Bitcoin. We're looking at YFII. So this coin is an interesting one because it's basically been in a giant consolidation for a long time, basically in an accumulation pattern. If we get the Fibonacci retracement tool, we can see from this absolute peak down to this absolute bottom down here. This is more or less the blood cellar zone. Down in the red is all accumulation, and this is more or less where we've found it very difficult to stay out of here. And every time we come out, we basically break straight back down again, and we're all in here the entire time. So when you're in accumulation, it takes sometimes forever. This one's been accumulating for getting on for a year, to be honest with you, and a yearly accumulation is in my opinion, it could be quite tasty when it finally breaks out. I've been trying to trade this one for ages, since we've had some uptrends and then breakdowns, and then some more uptrends and breakdowns, and other uptrends and breakdowns. We're in another uptrend from quite a low level, to be honest with you, after this big breakdown. But the interesting thing about this, other than the fact that you could buy into this down here and hope for the best, which is basically what it is, you hope for the best, and that it would break out from here. If we have a look at the Bitcoin pairing, it's been in an uptrend for quite a while now, since mid-May. So after the breakdown, this has been quite a decent. It's hard to call it anything other than relatively aggressive in comparison to other altcoins, really. So if we measure this from the breakdown bottom all the way to the top, it's done 141% gain versus Bitcoin since the breakdown in May. So that's pretty interesting for a coin that generally looks so awful. It does look awful on both Tether and on Bitcoin. It's performed really well in the face of this breakdown. Again, we can't get mega bullish on anything like this, where it looks like this. It goes up and down, sideways, all over the place. Very volatile, risky coin, especially when you're getting towards the top of this accumulation area. Historically, we get to the top of here, we do have nasty breakdowns each one of those times, but I do like it. Now I've got a fair bit of this, not an enormous amount, but I've got a handful of them. And I've held on to them because of this, and I expect this to make its all-time high again at some point, and then maybe some. But at the moment, still in this accumulation stroke of consolidation. Now if we go to the weekly, it shows you even on Tether that it's actually pretty aggressive. Now it's not a very old chart, right? It's a pretty young chart, so we don't have a great deal to go by on the chart alone. But if we have a look at the oscillators, we can see a nice big turning up here of the MACD on the weekly, gaining strength. The histogram's ticking up each week, and we're above all major moving averages on the weekly versus Tether. It's a complete opposite basically of how Bitcoin looks and most other altcoins look. So it is strange. I should really do some research into why this is moving like this. Maybe it's just at such oversold levels that people just couldn't help themselves. But I mean, it's working out pretty well. And to be honest, like I said, buying towards the top of this area here is obviously you're asking for trouble. But if you believe in this chart being a year-long accumulation phase, then obviously that's a long period of time to accumulate in. But if it is accumulating, which I believe it is, when it finally breaks out of this, it'll probably go into a very aggressive uptrend. But the question is, when will it do that? Is this going to fizzle out like it always has done, or will it continue with this uptrend, like I say, which is so far 140% from the bottom to the top versus Bitcoin? Pretty good for something that would be considered a shit coin. So we're about to incur a golden cross if we continue with this. If we look at the Ichimoku cloud and base our strategy upon that, what we have is we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 levels of confirmation for what should hopefully be another big stab to the upside. And if we think about this in terms of support resistance, we are quite close to what I consider to be the resistance. In fact, I think we've already hit that resistance here. So we just get a very crude but obvious trend line. And around about 2,700, and it will make more sense once we've drawn that in. So there's a lot of areas around this area, around it. So we've got wick. This is a weekly. So 1, 2, 3 rejections, support, a few rejections over here, breakdown from here, and a rejection point from here. So I think that it's difficult to say, but it's always a really difficult one to chart out. But I think that we've likely already hit the top level on this one, probably come down a little bit further. But if the charts continue to look this strong, especially versus Bitcoin, it wouldn't surprise me if we do eventually break out and go into that savage uptrend once the market gets healthy again, to which it's not at the moment. But once it does get healthy, this one's already primed for a continuation of this uptrend that it's already started versus Bitcoin. So pretty impressive stuff for a coin that really is never talked about, looked at, or anything. So I'll leave it with you there. But thanks for watching. If you want to join my Telegram, links in the description below. It's all free. It's just a chat. And I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.